Gisa, 안녕하세요. Good to see you too. Hope you're doing well, man. We are in Nevada. This is actually, what is this called? Yucca Airstrip. It's in a restricted area. Let me pull the map here. We're doing an FSC flight. Today, where are we at? Here we go. So I think this is like Creech Air Force Base is around where Area 51 is, I believe. So this is all a restricted area. So we're basically going to fly straight out here. We're going to join the Victor 105 Airway. It's one of our in-route IFR airways, low altitude, and then we're going to join. You'll hide into Wig. Wig is where we're going to join a Juliet, a Jet Airway, World High. What is that one? The J60, and take that down to Southern California, and then back onto Victor Airway. What is this? Victor 283 down to Riverside, California. We're going to March Air Force Base. So I guess we're taking 6 little top secret boys down there. Haven't done anything to the plane, and let me close this up. Starting to do our virtual walk around. Airframe manager, not wrong one. Maintenance manager, that is the one. Engine. There was an update too. That download. I've done a flight with it so far. I didn't notice anything new. Not sure what was in the changes. I didn't look at a change log. Good there. Battery's good. Electronics are good. Avionics, all good. Lights, probably fine. Airframe, no hard landings recently. Should be okay. And oxygen, good. Close. Also not going to worry at the moment about payload. The fuel and passengers are going to be set. We got 6 passengers, and I think 53% fuel load. Go ahead and get the GPU on into the cockpit.
Valid, Quebec Charlie is taking it down for runway 18. Quebec Charlie, altimeter 2969er, wind 170 at 15, gusty 20. You are cleared to land on 18. Cleared to land 18, Quebec Charlie.
Go put the parking brake on and remove the chocks as well.
Aural warning, okay.
Thank you, that's loud. This shouldn't take too long. There's not too many waypoints here. So flight plan, menu, delete.
Quebec Charlie, altimeter 2969er, wind 170
We're going to be straight south to
you are cleared to land on 18.
Hayden.
Cleared to land 18, Quebec
Hayden to Wig.
TAWS system test, okay.
Then the Hector VOR.
Quebec Charlie, I'd like you to keep the taxi speed up all the way down to 13.
Donna.
Exit left at 13, ground there 21.9. Left at 13, Quebec Charlie.
Donna to Aikens. And then will be our destination, which is
I'd like you to keep the taxi speed up all the way down to
Kilo
13.
Romeo
Exit left at 13, ground there
India
21.9.
Victor.
Left at 13, Quebec Charlie.
Listen to what the weather's doing here. I think we're on the departure end of this runway. There's not even 3D objects or anything here. It's just some random tiny backwoods X-plane airport.
Kilo Delta Romeo Alpha Airport information Delta 1653 Zulu weather wind 018 at 18 visibility 10 sky clear temperature 0 dew point -18 altimeter 3021 advise on initial contact. You have information Delta.
Probably no one to advise that to. 3021.
Foxtrot Delta
Kilo Delta.
entering contact departure airborne. Wind is 170 at 17 knots. You're clear takeoff runway 18 from Papa.
Delta Mike exit.
fly runway heading on takeoff, then it'll be a left turn to join our nav path. So we'll go, let's see, heading mode, out select. We're going to go straight to our cruise altitude, which is 24,000 feet because we're heading southwest. Should be able to vertical speed on here. Usually 1500 works pretty well. Gonna be fairly heavy-ish. Heading sets, put the flight plan in there. Out select is good.
Target afternoon altimeter 3035.
And flight director's on. Yeah, Dreamland approach. That's interesting. This is all super top secret military stuff out here. Dreamland approach, after we get out of here, will probably be Los Angeles Center. 132.625.
Quarter 415, turn right, fly heading 150. Heading 150, quarter 415.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna go in here, we'll load them up. Excuse me, coming around. Change my tail number 2352 Tango. That's my favorite airplane so far to fly in real life.
14, descend to 6 down.
Alright, you guys get in the damn airplane, please. Oh, I did that one. Start flight. We got 6 passengers.
Naval 514, descend to 6 down. With 6,000, Naval 7514. Naval 514, turn right heading 140.
Actually, you know what we're gonna do?
140,
Go to 10,000. I like the flight level change on this, but usually depart with vertical speed and then level off somewhere wherever your initial altitude would be cleared by air traffic control. Level off there and then flight level change up to our cruise altitude. So we'll go for 10,000 there, level off, and then we'll just rocket up to 24,000. Close U. Lock that down, put our headsets on. Nice and quiet in here.
Down to 6,000, rescue 41.
El Rascon, what's up, buddy? Let's go strobe on. Double check our fuel is at about 53%. It is, it's good, they're even. Auxiliary bypass pump on. Fuel select, we'll leave that on manual for now.
Down to 6,000, rescue 41.
Fuel on. Get this on a battery. Disconnect the GPU. Fixing to go to bed. That's a southern thing. Waiting for our NG to hit 52%. There we go. Go ahead and get the inertial separator on. Stable, bring it over into our flight idle. And I'll bring it back to taxi range.
Naval 514, when established contact carrier 1199. Course 199 for tower, Naval 7514.
Tell me the inertial separator's on, thanks.
3000, Whiskey 4121.
Today we're flying to Riverside, California, currently in Nevada, near Area 51. Flying some top secret boys around. Flight controls. Correct. Takeoff trim is set where we need to be, and we'll go ahead and set flaps 10.
Clear the ILS on 24, right? 270, clear for the ILS.
Korea times, El Rascon's in Korea too. Gisa, you guys are both night owls.
Right, C4121, turn left 270, clear the ILS on 24, right? 270, clear for the ILS, 24, right.
She gonna be bumpy. And double check, there's a little crosswind going on here, is that right?
Over to tower, 1 established, C4121, 2.
Later, man, have a good one. We'll see ya. I'm gonna hold the parking brake. Hold the toe brakes. Parking brake off. It's off on the cast system.
Over to tower, 1 established, C4121.
We're ready to go. Start bringing the power up. I'll kind of treat this like a short field to take off. Crosswind correction. Tap the brakes.
Getting slow.
Gear coming up. Up and indicating we're about 110 knots. Bring the flaps up. And turn the yaw damper on. Over torqued it a little bit on that takeoff. Miss you too, buddy. We'll see ya.
Hello to you, someone 607, sending 11,000, 3 level over FDOT, and
Go heading 240.
999, we have information vector. Sunwing 607, we're up to 3003 on the meter, runway 248. Okay, 3003, 24 right, coming 607, thanks. Yep. Hello to you, someone 607, sending 11,000, 3 level over FDOT, and altimeter 2999, we have information vector. Sunwing 607, we're up to 3003 on the meter.
We're going to turn the autopilot on and we'll control the heading bug from here. Let's go 150 and start to intercept this. At this point, we're kind of inbound, so we'll switch it over here. Should have done a net to Los Angeles Center. Let's say, all right, direct to Hayden. So let's select that on the flight plan. Direct to enter, and switch over to nav mode. Leave the power where it's at once we're about below 80%. Go ahead and turn the inertial separators off. There's no clouds down at this altitude. There'll probably be many birds or anything. So it'll probably be okay to turn that off.
39
When you turn it off, the torque can increase by up to 20%. So
all the way down
safe
to
here.
probably 27 was smooth earlier, but anything in the middle was sort of intermittent continuous flight.
Center 4578, we'd like to try...
Your should be safe. So inertial separator off.
Okay, I'll have that for you shortly.
And watch the torque to make sure that we're not going to get above 100. And over torque it twice in one flight. Those are expensive repairs. So until that stabilizes, I don't want to touch the throttle
Number
either.
4578, climb flight level 390.
Maintain level 390, number 4578.
Ooh, that was close. 97%. And we're at 10,000, so we're going to let the speed come up. We're going to go ahead and
American
set
98, sir, direct to Echo
24,000.
November, Echo Long first.
Direct to Echo November, Echo American 98.
Roger.
Torque's coming up, so just it's going to get to 100 in a second if we keep going at this speed. So we're going to go flight level change, select about 130. Watch the vertical speed. 4,800, 5,000, 5,100 feet a minute. That is performance.
Number 4578, contact center 1862.
Torque is coming down, which is good.
1852,
And we'll start to bring the throttle forward a little bit. So technically we can go up to 800 on the ITT. The NG can go over 100%, but we don't want to over torque it. And we don't want to go over 800 degrees on the temperature. So we'll see what I can do as we climb.
So Turkish 10 Heavy, good evening, flight level 312.
Circuit 10 Heavy, Toronto, good evening.
We're way out of the
good morning.
port area. Go ahead and turn off that pulse light too.
MX 617, good morning, climb flight level 340.
Apollo 340, Inco 617. Toronto, Inco 617, heading 275 for about 40 miles, weather conditions.
MX 617, deviations approved, direct Delta Juliet Bravo, enable.
Direct Delta Juliet Bravo, enable, item Mexico 617.
MX 617, maintain flight level 320.
Thank you, man.
We're at 18,000. We're in the flight level, so we'll go ahead and switch over to standard barometric pressure here and there.
Air Mexico 617, contact center 13477.
3477 Cleveland, Aeromexico 617. Have a good day.
Bye. Turkish 10, contact center 1222. Good night.
12122, bye-bye.
Bye.
So we've got about 65 degrees to play with here.
American 132, flight level 390.
Still pretty good. Ground speed's 240 knots in a climb. Still climbing almost 2,000 feet a minute at 20,000 feet. That's nuts. In a propeller. I'm so jealous when I hear these guys on the radio and stuff in real life. I've seen they're in and out of our airport. There's one I think that's based there. Yeah, I get so jealous of those guys. Let's switch, dudes. So now we're approaching, which you can see on the G1000 here. So this is going to be the Victor 205 or whatever I said that jetway was, which we hit hidden, and you can see it's between these two. These are MOAs, and the blue areas up here are restricted areas. So just realize these are the low altitude IFR airways. And there's also jet airways and Q airways that fly through here. This little corridor. So this would have been probably, I think, 100 and something nautical mile trip, but because of routing and stuff that you'd have to use in real life to avoid these. I mean, you might be cleared through the MOAs down here to the south too if they're not active, but probably you'd be adding. I mean, this ended up being 228 nautical miles versus, let me see what the straight line distance was supposed to be. 100 and something. I don't mind. It's more time to fly the TBM and get plenty of fuel, and it was a cheap rental. 1,000 to go, and we got 50 degrees and 16% on the torque to play with, so let's see what I can do power setting wise.
American 132, contact 12122.
12122, American 132, good night.
Bye.
I'll probably leave it there and not test my luck. 774 on the ITC. Yeah, this is 194 nautical miles, so we added about a little over 30 for routing. And back there somewhere is Area 51. There's cruise. I'm going to push it up a little bit and see what happens here. I'll leave it there, just in case. Actually, I want to push my luck. Hit some turbulence or something, over torque it.
Dynasty 011, go ahead.
That'll work. 775, 97% torque. Airspeed and ground speed coming up. Still at 354 knots and climbing. That's sweet. That is fast. torque has actually climbed up as the airspeed has come up, so we're going to have to bring the power back a little bit. Good thing we were watching. %, should be pretty good. 380 knots. Right off the wing there, that's Las Vegas on the other side of this range of mountains.
Center, FedEx 130 Heavy, flight level 350. We're deviating left of track for Charlie Bravo and direct make low and able.
FedEx 130 Heavy at 350, center hello, I took your deviating to the left and direct make low and able, thank you.
Let's have a look at March Air Force Base. So I think there's technically 3 runways, but these look like they're for civilians and small light aircraft. One of them is 3,000 feet.
It's been a couple hours.
So we'll use the main runway, which is 32 and 14. Those are 13,000 feet. So for 32 and 14, we're probably not going to need any procedures because I think the weather is clear. But there is ILS localizer Zulu, TACAN, which I'm not really sure how to use those. Localizer X-ray Yankee and RNAVs. I'll load one just in case and see what the weather is doing there in a minute. But probably we'll just fly it visually. Alright, we are on first airway, then we're going to go down to WIG, and that's going to be pretty much direct to March Air Force Base. We'll make the next right turn. Let's look, RNAV 32. Minimums are 4,500 barometrics, so... Aikens is 20 miles out, so we'll say...
There might be a bit of a buildup. I haven't had anybody go through that area recently. I don't know.
So we'll say 10,000 at Aikens. There we go, that'll give us a VNAV profile. So when you get a little bit closer, it'll say vertical path, and we'll know to engage VNAV.
And then finding number 1 arrival. Gemini 16, thanks. That should keep you left of the buildup that I'm painting. If you need to deviate further, just let me know. India Golf November.
India Golf November, thank you.
What did I do? Clear this, please.
Gemini 916, contact the center on 119er.67, good day.
Did I lose my flight plan?
occasional moderate bump reported all altitudes.
Copy.
Let's go COM 2, ATIS for Riverside 134.75.
Dynasty 011 heavy, level 300, center, good morning.
So this is what's on the approach plate. If it's the same thing in X-plane, turn on COM 2, we'll get that. We'll be able to hear that when we're getting a little bit closer. Currently, let's see what the weather's doing there. Wind's calm.
Dynasty 011, go ahead.
We're picking up some continuous flight through this here at 300. Any reports ahead?
Dynasty 011, we've had light chop reported almost all altitudes with the occasional moderate bump. It's been quite a few hours since I've had my last report, so haven't had anybody through recently.
All right, Roger, thank you.
If you'd like to try any other altitude, you're welcome to. Everything is available.
Okay, what's the here for now?
November 50 for Whiskey Victor, level 410, center, good morning.
370, a little late now.
Delta 2049, 370, center, hello, a little bit of light chop ahead, nothing too bad.
Thank you.
Delta 995 has to change your reading to GMP advised, ready to copy.
Stand by. Delta 995 is ready, copy routing.
Delta 995, clear from the position directed to Kingston. That's India Golf November, and then the Kingston number 1 arrival for JFK.
You're in Kingston, and Kingston 1 arrival. India JFK, Delta 995.
Yep.
Good morning, November 504, Whiskey Victor, level 4.
November 504, Whiskey Victor, level 410, center, good morning.
So there we go. Hector, after Hector, that's our top of descent. So we'll start descending into Riverside then, and they'll figure out what runway we're probably going to
Hawaiian
use.
90, contact center 119er, decimal 37 today.
1937, Hawaiian 98 today.
Delta 831, go ahead.
340 for SoCal approach.
Delta 831,
Alright, thanks.
Still probably on with one of the LA Center frequencies.
JetBlue 648 at 370, Center, hello.
Good morning, Chicago 10, Bulgaria, maintaining level 350.
Air Chicago 102 at 350, Center, hello. Delta 995, descend level 350 for traffic.
7 maintain level 350. For traffic, Delta 995. Good evening, Alaska 9, flight level 350.
Tweet 118 at level 390, Center, hello. Delta 831, contact 119 decimal 37, good day.
7 for number 831, good day.
Delta 995, contact Center 119 decimal 37, good day.
1937, Delta 995, good morning.
Morning. Delta 2489, contact. JetBlue 98, contact Center 119 decimal 37.
1937, JetBlue, say with you later.
Swoop 118, I'll let you make that request with the next controller. Descend upon level 280. November 504, Victor 5600, 121.22, good day. Delta 1548 at 360 Center Low. I've had light chop reported most altitudes tonight. Fortunately, you're not going to be able to stay at 360 for long due traffic. Are you able to climb to 370 or will I take you back down to 350?
We can do 370 Delta 1548.
Delta 1548, okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll have that for you in about 30 miles or so.
Now let's pull this up and see what X-plane weather is telling us. We're going to search for Riverside.
Swoop 118, descend level 240.
Weather currently 3014 winds. No wind. All runways good for landing or takeoff. So we're coming in from this way. So I'm going to say runway 14. We'll do 14. We'll pull up the approach for the RNAV. Runway 14. Procedure, select approach.
Delta 2258 at 360 Center Low.
14.
If you need to retract, are you able to climb to 370 tonight?
So technically these are non-precision approaches. This is localizer precision with vertical guidance. So the minimums are a little higher. So we're going to run with 14 via Tenry is from our direction, so that might be the easiest, and that's at 6,000. So we'll do initial approach fix. Tenry minimums are LPV, so that's us 1756. We want Barrow. So 1760. We will load that, I believe. That was the descent warning, so we're going to go with 10,000. Turn VNAV on. So once we hit Donna, I'll activate the approach, since I think that over here somewhere is going to be our initial approach fix. We'll go straight from there to there, and then at 6,000 feet, at or above 6,000 feet at Tenry, which is 4,000 below what we got in there now, should be easy enough to do. You can see now the VNAV profile is coming down. pull the power back a little bit so we don't over-torque the engine. But we'll leave the power up and make sure that we're not slowing down a whole bunch. Coming in hot. Go ahead and switch it over to SoCal approach.
Cruise 1769, descend to 6,000.
Riverside Tower 127.65. Realistically, you'd probably have one or two more. 65. 65. One or two more approach frequencies before you actually got to tower. Man, I'm on 127.65.
Large harp information Delta. 1800 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 8. Dew point -21. Altimeter 3017. Arriving runway 30. Departing runway 30. Advise on initial contact you have Delta.
607, descend to 8,000. 8,000, 607.
Arriving runway 30 is the short little guy. So we're not going to use that. So we'll do 32.
Large harp information Delta. 1800 Zulu weather. Wind light
Turn
and
gear
variable.
off. Go back down here. Let's try this one more time. Procedures. Select approach. RNAV 32. Via. Let's see. What are our transitions? Let's do Gumps. It's a little lower actually. 1697, so we'll go 1700. What?
Cruise 1769, continue descent 3000. Continue descent 3000, Rouge 1769.
$1,700 feet. Enter. Load. And there's Gumps right there. So again, after Donna, we'll go direct Gumps. We'll activate the approach after that. And Gumps at or above 5,000.
Panorama 431, checking in clear, 50,300, descending 8,000, we have follow. Yes, that border 431, 704 right, on 3006, information, Quebec. Okay,
Ooh, just caught the torque there, creeping up on 100.
06, border 431. Panorama 431, checking in clear, 50,300, descending 8,000, we have follow.
Local barometric pressure set on the main altimeter and the standby.
Quebec. Okay, 24 right, Quebec, 3006, border 431.
procedures, activate approach. Sometimes when you're doing an FSC mission, for some reason the GPS doesn't quite work right. So we're going to activate approach, enter, and make sure that this syncs up with our heading. See if it follows that. Sometimes you have to go into heading mode and then go back to the flight plan and go direct to whatever the initial approach fix is. We'll roll this down to 5,000. Let the VNAV get us down there. It looks like it's following the GPS LNAV. And so there's guns, there'll be a right turn, and then Dahan is going to be beginning of the inbound course. Final approach fix. LOGTE at or above 3,600. Again, the VNAV, I will probably go visual at some point once I can see the runway. The airport should be somewhere out here around 1 or 2 o'clock. I think that might be it right there.
Lindsay 4250, descend maintain 8,000. 8,000, about 4200. Turn right 220 intercept, get out left, 24 right approach. Right 220 intercept, get out left, 24 right, 431. Turn right 220 intercept, get out left, 24 right approach. Contact tower now, 1199. 99, number 1, 431.
We're getting into the territory where you might expect a bird, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the inertial separator again.
Number 1, contact tower now, 1199. 99, number 1, 431.
And when we turn onto the final approach course, we'll start getting configured for landing. I'll try to get the speed up until then. Let's see, what our minimums were 1,700 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and put, since we're on the approach now, basically we're going to go down to minimums 170. Partial separators on, thanks.
Inverse 4250, proceed right Sildo, set to 4 down.
And the VNAV can basically take care of getting you down there. Since we are cleared to our approach.
Inverse 4250, proceed right Sildo, set to 4 down. Sildo. Lindbergh 4250, maintain the speed at 250 knots per hour, descent 3 down. Sure, 79, 3000, 14.
Vertical track.
Lindbergh 4250, maintain the speed at 250 knots per hour, descent 3 down. Sure, 79, 3000, 14.
So I think landing gear speed is 178, and the same for flaps in the takeoff configuration. So we're basically, once we get on the final approach course, we'll slow down to 178. It's going to be gear down, flaps 1, position 1, takeoff. And then once we pass final approach fix, or the vertical descent point, then we'll do flaps landing.
Lindbergh 4250, flight 360. Left 360, Good evening, Air Canada 428, proceed direct to TDAS 24, right now, notice 3006. Direct TDAS 3006, requesting 24 left. Stand by.
And there's the runway.
Air Canada 428, 18, 3000. Good evening, Air Canada 428, proceed direct to TDAS 24, right now, notice 3006. Direct TDAS 3006, requesting 24 left. Stand by.
Activate approach. It's got the glide path. Vertical guidance is armed. And we'll start slowing it down to 178 knots.
4000 Canada 428.
There's our final approach course. Once we level out, I'm going to turn off the yaw dampers as well. I'm not going to need those anymore. Don't want them on the ground.
Air Canada 428, descent 4000. 4000 Canada 428.
178, gear down, flaps, take off.
Air Canada 428, descent 3000. Speed restriction. 3000, speed restriction.
Gear down, 3 green, no red. And I think takeoff configuration for flaps is 122, which you can see down there in the white, so we'll leave it, try to keep it around 150 until we're past the final approach fix. actually, what we're going to do, turn off the autopilot, take over from here, but I do want to keep the approach and the flight directors on, have those as a visual reference, and we can fly that. We're on final approach, so we'll switch over to tower. Tell them we're established on the RNAV 32. Give us our landing clearance. Tell us to continue inbound and expect clearance later.
Jazz 257, turn right for a seat and IDB. Right turn direct to the 9.2, Jazz 257. Roger.
And we'll start slowing it down, get ready for the landing configuration. There's 122, so we are in our final flaps range. We can go flaps, landing configuration, a little bit of power, get a bunch of drag here.
The 2-van at 1,000 feet for the call home for downtown. Airbus 302 identified, 23004, big forward transit. 302, thank you.
Start slowing it up a little bit. I think it's around 90 knots is the approach speed, if I'm not mistaken. See how that feels.
Jazz 409 with you, visual 260, cancel the runway 268.
500.
Here we go, coming up on minimums. That's one thing in real life when you actually see what minimums look like. It's, I've not done it in real IMC down to minimums or anything, but it's a little staggering how close you are to the actual ground. To technically not have to be able to see out the window is kind of amazing. About 150 above. And now I'm just looking at the runway. That's looking at the numbers now. 50 above.
Minimums.
Victor Tower, we can fly direct.
Continue.
Jetty and then eastbound between the parallels from there for a right-hand approach to Thatcher. Okay, we'll push you check the signals is ready for eastbound between the parallels. So, Hotel Juliet Victor, Roger. As your turn of final for the pad, there'll be a couple of low planes on the south side of the
Slowly
river.
start to pull the power out a little bit.
Left base to final landing westbound. Hotel Juliet Victor, Roger.
Airspeed.
Getting slow.
Stall.
Iris 309.
Go ahead and bring up the flaps.
Final, there'll be helicopter just on your right side landing pad, Charlie.
What I should have done was land long, because this runway is super long, so I'm just going to keep the speed up and we'll taxi down to the next one. Let me zoom in here and see. Yeah. One 2175 for ground.
Iris 309, as you're turning final, there'll be helicopter just on your right side landing pad, Charlie. Iris 309 will be okay.
Didn't even touch our wheel brakes the
Hotel
entire time.
Juliet Victor, circle east of the threshold 26 left, wind 2608 for land, pad, Charlie. Hotel east of the threshold 26 left for pad, Charlie. Hotel Juliet Victor. Hotel Juliet Victor,
Hold it here.
East of the
Switch it over to ground. Flaps are up. Transponder doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and retrim this into the takeoff position.
Canada 117, contact tower 187. And 87 Canada 117.
Taxi over the ramp. Not sure how that landing would have felt in real life. I mean, definitely you get it slow enough where you'll get a stall warning and stuff when you're trying to get the main wheels to come down first, but it's hard to judge when the runway's this big, 13,000 feet and 150 feet wide, I think. It's hard to judge how high you are above the ground and playing like this. Well, it didn't look too hard. Let's see what the replay looked like. Cross over this runway, clear final.
Yeah, 791, ground 12165. Just 35, Delta Romeo, contact Napier 12207.
Go park it down by one of those hangars, drop off these top secret boys, and have a look at the replay. Windshield heat, pitot heats.
Just 35, Delta Romeo, contact Napier 12207. Hi, friend, WestJet 423 Hotel 2, gate Alpha 5. WestJet 423 ground across 15 right, left, taxi Bravo, hold short Romeo. That's 15 left and right, Bravo, hold short Romeo, WestJet 423.
Place is huge.
WestJet 423 Hotel 2, gate Alpha 5. WestJet 423 ground across 15
Take
right,
this one down
left,
here.
taxi Bravo, hold short Romeo. That's 15 left and right, Bravo, hold short Romeo, WestJet 423. Try that 744, Monitor Tower, 11835.
Maintain 11835 to the ground full.
This is one of those planes that I go through phases with. Every time there's a new update, I tend to get back into it and I'll fly it a whole bunch because it's probably the best airplane for X-plane.
Try that 744, Monitor Tower, 11835.
Maintain 11835 to the ground full.
Let's park it right in front of this hangar. It's where the UFOs are kept.
Get a 153, stand by on Tower 187. Get a 153, stand by on Tower 187.
Hold the brakes, parking brake on.
Tower 187.
That is a loud warning. AB trim is off, manual fuel select, auxiliary bypass pump off. And I guess we've been in below flight idle for more than 2 minutes now since we had a long taxi there, so we'll go ahead and bring this up to feather.
Air Canada 737, stand by on Tower 187. Over to Tower Canada 737, good day. Air Canada 791, stand by on Tower 187. Air Canada 791, stand by on Tower 1.
Flight finished. We did it. Let's take a look at that. Actually, before I do, I want to look at the maintenance manager. Let's go to engine. Did I break anything with over torquing on takeoff? No, it's still all is new. So I guess we were only there for like maybe a second and got up to 102%. So nothing significantly damaged. Replay. the smoothest landing in the world. Had a little bit of an over flare there. Yeah, right there, like constant altitude. Wasn't flat though. That's something. Man, that runway is massive. Alright guys, I'm going to get out of here. We'll have, I'll probably be back tomorrow. The weather does not look like it's going to be good for the next few days, so I'm not flying in real life. Maybe tomorrow afternoon. We'll see ya. Until next time, we love ya. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Peace.